Arctic Piring again. Opponent desperate to keep us off balance here. Gonna hit the opponent big here. This is gonna be game. Hit him back with that good game, and we have made it past the mill. And we have an opponent. This hand will be a keep, and we will see what we're up against. Gonna go ahead and play down that Fireblade Charger now and start swinging in. The purpose of this deck, of course, is to what we call clap back. Most of our spells punish the enemy for blocking. Go ahead and put the Celestis down, get the day-night cycle started. Opponent showing 2 red mana from the start, so not entirely sure what they're doing, but we'll see what happens here in just a moment. Third mana down, Fearsome Whelp coming to the board. Go ahead and just take that right off the board, no need to let them build up any momentum there. Town Razor Tyrant down, gonna go ahead and punish that Den of the Bugbear. Opponent now gonna have to decide if they want to keep taking damage. As we have no basic land, any Town Razor Tyrant they elect to play will have little to no effect with the recent changes. No, that was a misclick. Whoops. Alright, well, you can't win them all, folks. Meant to foretell that. Opponent now down to 10 life. Let's see what they elect to do. They are 1 mana away from putting down a big dragon threat. There's the mana. Do we get a gold span or an adult gold? Angel Fire Ignition. Okay, they're going to race us with the lifelink. Gotta swing. There's the swing. We will go ahead and put it over to the night side. And let's do a little looting. Time for a big hit. Opponent has 2 red mana available, so not likely that they can kill the spell rune in just one shot. But if they have double 1 mana attack spells, oh, there it is, they managed it. That is painful for what we're trying to accomplish here, and I forgot about the vigilance. Now the opponent is firmly in the driver's seat. Another white mana down. Do they elect to try and finish the job with an Angel Fire? We are firmly behind at this point. That is a big momentum swing. Huge hit for the opponent. And we are drawing dead. Let's go ahead and try and pick something up. And another mana. This game is not in our favor right now. We're going to go ahead, hit him with the GG and not waste any time. This is a blitz. We are trying to race up the ladder, and we are not heading in the right direction to start. We have our next opponent. This is an interesting hand. We're going to go ahead and keep it on the off chance that our Rahilda gets removed early. Double Celestis as well. It gives us something to loot back out, and we also get a second chance if we're facing an Izzet deck. So we're going to Go ahead and hedge our bets here. Opponent leading with a Spikefield Cave. I am smelling is it just based on the spell right off the gate. And they're showing Rakdos colors, or at least starting with Rakdos. Could be Grixis, if I'm not mistaken on my color wheel here. Here comes the Rahilda. First of now, all three showing up in our opening hands here. Opponent sticking with Rakdos and a removal. This could be a burn strategy. And they elect to go for mana fixing. So we're going to go ahead and play down the Rahilda. Second of three. Only three in the deck. We have managed to draw all of them. Let's see if the opponent is sitting on more removal that they're looking to throw our way. Do they use the environmental sciences? Looks like they're thinking about it. A go blank. We will go ahead and toss one Rahilda and a Celestis. Opponent is now tapped out though, and we get to take a quick peek at what they're dealing with. Let's see what we steal before we play out that Town Raiser. A Bloodthirsty Adversary. That is a worthy pickup. We're going to go ahead and play out the Town Raiser and start punishing their mana. Take away their Manland's ability to become an attacker, and now force them to decide, do they keep the 4 mana and go for 5, or do they start sacrificing and making these complicated decisions? They've elected to sacrifice. They still have that environmental sciences, which keeps them slightly ahead here. Thundering Rebuke, there goes the Town Raiser. But that's 2 mana down. Do they have another removal? They're looking like they do. Bloodtithe Harvester, intriguing. And another Town Raiser Tyrant. We're going to go ahead and swing in. Let's see if we draw out the block. They're electing to let me go through. What else do we take from them? Shatter Skull Smashing. Let's go ahead and... It's not letting us play out the land side. We're going to go ahead and hold off and once again punish their mana. Been getting some epic top decks this round. Going to take away the Haunted Ridge. Put them down to 1 black mana to choose from, and they elect to take the damage this time. Let's see if they go for the removal. Another mana down, opponent up to 5, and a City Stalker Connoisseur. There goes our Celestis. Shouldn't have waited on that. Do they sacrifice the Bloodtithe Harvester? At this point they might. There goes the Town Raiser. Now let's see if we can bait them into letting us take a swing here. This run amok is going to come in very handy. Showing a 2-2, so the opponent doesn't necessarily feel threatened here. They think they've got it. They only have 1 mana up. Here comes the big girl. A 5-5 with trample. We're going to punch all the way through and avoid the death touch. And let's take another look at what we can get off of their hand. A Bloodtithe Harvester for ourselves. We'll go ahead and play out the adversary this turn, and if we get another wolf, depending on how they elect to play this, we will look at utilizing that Harvester. Opponent has elected to dump the mana. And by mana, I mean the environmental sciences. They are sacrificing a land. 4 mana available for the opponent. What is their play? Empty hand. We are now safe from City Stalker. And they're looking to fix their hand, dropping another land. Opponent appears to be flooding out. Soul Shatter. We're going to go ahead and sacrifice the adversary. Put the Foretell on the dual strike and go ahead and swing in. Oh, an Igneous Inspiration. do I have a sideboard? I can't remember if I built this deck that way. I did build this deck that way. We are going to go ahead and play out the Harvester. Once again, giving us a 2-mana threat, it will deflect any potential Soul Shatters. There is the Trespasser. What do they choose to eat from the graveyard? Oh, there it goes. Oh, and that won't do. But this will. We'll go ahead and dump the Frostbite, make the Graveyard Trespasser coming up against us a sacrifice play for the opponent, and hold all of our mana up. This could be the swing that we need to finish the game. What do we take away from him? Another adversary. Gonna go ahead and dual strike and hit him with the double Igneous. Take one Environmental Sciences, and we'll take a start from scratch. Don't necessarily need the mana at this point. Opponent is tapped out. See what we can draw off the top here. We've got another land. We might now be facing our own flood-like situation. They're gonna, looks like, tap out the Bugbear. Nope, they're just gonna swing. Or do they swing? I don't have any hasted threats that I can remember. Oh, and we are now drawing dead to mana. Go ahead and put one more damage on their face. Can we draw into a creature threat? Opponent is bringing the Bugbear up to play. Do they swing? Would be silly for them not to at this point. Here they come. And there goes one of our Townraiser Tyrants. This might just swing away into their favor. Gonna go ahead and hold on to the snow-covered mountain so that we have something to pay the discard fee for in case we have to target that Graveyard Glutton. Right now we're looking at 7, 8, 9 damage, so we need to pull down something on this next turn or we will lose this match. 10 damage now if we include the Graveyard Glutton punishing a creature. We might actually be out on this play as it is. We are down to 1 health, folks. We need to draw a burn spell, one that can target face, and I don't remember if I have any in the deck. I may have discarded them. And that's it. They found it. Give them the GG and move on to the next one. We have found another opponent, and in the interest again of trying to sprint for diamond, we have elected to swap out decks. The mono red clapback was fun, but it's not getting the job done. So we are now looking at our elf tribal deck, which has performed very well across multiple games in different levels of the ladder. And we're going to see if this one has what it takes to swing our momentum back in our favor and get us climbing as opposed to falling. This will be a keepable hand here, leading off with Jaspera Sentinel on 1, Duskwielder on 2, so we can start using them to work mana to our advantage. 3 great mana cards to start with, one of each color, and the dual land that comes in untapped on 3. Now just waiting on the opponent, who does have the option to go first, to select their play. Alright, We are now starting. Opponent has a Lithiform Engine Sleeve. There's the Sentinel. There's the Dusk Wielder. And we'll go ahead and save that Sentinel to pair off with the Varus Silvery Moon Ranger. Opponent looks like they're playing a version of the Enchantments deck. We're going to go ahead and go for the Lost Mine of Phandelver, elect to go in as a Scry. And the Bright Blade is actually a worthwhile keep, as we can then combo off the Skemfar Shadow Sage. Question's going to be, do they have any board wipes? Ward 1, Sanguine Brushstroke, that is to their advantage. Gonna go ahead and create a treasure token. Opponent's gonna lose a chunk of life here, down 6. And we'll swing in with the Varus. Gonna have to sacrifice at least one of the tokens. Ooh, that is not a good move on their part, as we have another Skemfar Shadow Sage sitting on deck. If they don't have a board wipe here, we're gonna hit them big next turn, and they are not gonna be able to really stop us. Interesting call, they're Deadly Disputing. That taps down their mana pretty severely. They may not have the ability to answer for what's about to come. 3 mana available. What could they have here? Wedding Announcement transforms. Herald unites the elves to follow this up if it doesn't swing for lethal. We're going to go ahead and hit the Dark Pool. And we're going to finish this game with the Boast. Hit him with the GG, folks. And the elves have brought us back into contention. Varus is a change we've made since the original Elves video, dropping the previous 4-mana card, whose name I'm spacing on, but this dungeon delving gave us just enough of an edge to get us over the top, and really allowed us to ping away at their opponent. We have an opponent, Jace Beleren Avatar, so could be a control mage. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of the hand we have, though. Lead with the Dusk Wielder, go up into the Skemfar, and there's Izzet Colors, so exactly what we were not hoping to see here. Let's see what they've got for 2. Alright, we're going to go ahead and swing in and Boast. Let's see if the opponent elects to tap down and actually utilize anything. We'll go ahead and draw out the first of their counter spells with Herald, King of the Skemfar. Oh, and it makes it to the board. Frankly, I'm a little surprised. Figure if you're sitting on untapped mana, it's because you intend to counter spells. Danger of playing against a blue-red deck is we could be facing burn spells such as Burn Down the House. There's Galvanic. This is probably a mill. There's the Maddening Cacophony. 16 cards headed to the bin. Danger of this particular deck is we are, mana cost-wise, relatively low to the ground. We're going to go ahead and call back the Tactician. A little bit of self-mill is not going to be our friend here, but So at times you just have to take it. Opponent is now on a clock. Next turn, if they don't kill us this time around, we're going to hit them bigly with the Skemfar Shadowsage and finish this game. They have to have it on this go. Opponent taking their time. There's another Galvanic. Is this the Tasha's? Tasha's could potentially hit us for the mill out. There's a Cathartic Pyre. They're looking to kill our creatures, so that's going to help them, but it still keeps us in a position where we have the ability to start coming back. Still worried about the Tashas, but they've already burned 2 Galvanics, and it's going to be too expensive unless they draw the mana this turn. We'll have to see what happens here. I am in a dangerous position hand-wise, looking at 28 cards available, and they've already dropped some of our bigger mana cost spells in the bin. That's going to be another double Cacophony, I believe. Unless they drop another mana here. No, they're Cathartic Pyring again. Opponent desperate to keep us off balance here. Gonna hit the opponent big here. This is gonna be game. Hit him back with that good game, and we have made it past the mill. We have our next opponent up to bat. This hand is keepable. We're going to go ahead and do a keep and see if we can draw into the mana we need to play out on curve. We may have to take a 1-turn break here in order to get the Dusk Wielder on the board, but we shall see what we're dealing with. Those sleeves usually I see on mage decks, so let's see if we're playing another Azorius Control. Opponent leading with green mana, that is a good sign for us to start, and we are now curving out just as we had hoped we would. Be able to get the Yaris Silvery Moon. And by Yaris, I mean Varus, because I don't read my cards that closely. This is exactly where we want to be sitting, folks. And once again, we've seen this play pattern in previous games. Going to go ahead and take the Scry and leverage ourselves into an advantageous position. We're going to take that mana off the top, as we really do want to continue to hit our curve and play out the Herald Unites the Elves this next turn. Opponent now showing black, green, and white, color combination whose name I am totally spacing on, and they're going to have to tap all the way down for it. That is advantageous. A little sad that we don't continue to get to draw off the dungeon, but we will take it. Oh, and the War Master coming to play. Opponent's going to need to wipe the board soon if they want to stay in this game, because this will spiral out of control very quickly. We could potentially have them on this next turn. Key to the Archive coming down. That's not going to be the play they want. All of our creatures are about to get a +1/+1, and we're going to take a chunk of health off with this Skemfar Shadowsage. I'm not going to hit them with the GG until I know we have it, but we're going to be hitting them for 6 damage with the Skemfar coming down, and a big chunk coming in after it. This might be game, folks, but we will have to wait and see. That's it. Lightning fast, turn 5, we took the win. Alright, we have our next opponent. As you do with anything, when you're riding a heart streak, you continue riding. This is a great starting hand here. being able to play the Jasperis Sentinel on 1, the War Master on 2, and follow that War Master with a Dusk Wielder on 2, just building out a massive board state right from the get-go. Opponent leading with black mana and an Eye Twitch. Gonna have to go quickly. Opponent most likely will have board wipes available to them. And we are now drawing into a heap of mana. We'll go ahead and utilize the boast as often as we can hit it, while the opponent could potentially hit us now within the next 2 turns. I'm sure they're going to try and block here, potentially block that 2 damage from the War Master, and draw themselves into a position where they can recoup some of that health either with an Environmental Sciences and continue to build out the mana, or Deadly Dispute, and now we are in Meathook range as of turn 3. Opponent not going for the Meathook though. They're putting out a Pest Summoning, which means they're going to continue to try and block on the board. There's the Pests. Can we draw into one of our Tacticians? No, continuing to draw land. Let's go ahead and bait out the double block. They elect to let us keep it, so we're going to go ahead and just hit them with the boast. No need to sit on Ceremony here. Return Upon the Tide will bring us back that War Master if it does go down here on this next turn. Another Eye Twitch coming to the board. And a Sanguine Brushstroke. To Juru Blightblade. Let's see once again if we can draw out the double block. Okay, they have elected to single block. So, we can once again tap down below the 4th mana, continue to ping their health, and we're going to take that ping back. Let's see if they sweep the board here. They are in a position to be set up for it, but they have yet to do it. Opponent stabilizing a little bit here. Mascot Exhibition. They're a little ways off on the mana for that. I am now up to 5 mana, 6 on the way, 7 to activate the Elvish War Master, so I can swing in for a huge hit this next turn. Let's see how they tap. There's the Blood on the Snow. We expected that. Opponent's going to hit us for a ton of pings with that Blood Artist. And we've received another Return Upon the Tide. We're going to go ahead and put that in the Foretell Zone and bring back our War Master. Opponent is at 5 mana, 6 now on the board, and another Eye Twitch coming down. Fellstinger looking to sacrifice the Eye Twitch already. We need 2 turns to set up our intended operation here. Let's see if we have the time for it. Opponent may not give us the chance. And we are continuing to draw just a heap of land, but this is good for us. Big hit incoming. We will once again save the Return Upon the Tide. The fact that the opponent has even considered double blocking this indicates to me that they could be sitting on another board wipe. Going to take another 2 damage. They're going to stay at 20. Going to hold on to the Return Upon the Tide for 1 more turn. There's the land. Do they play the mascots? Mascots coming down would be to our favor. They're thinking about it. They're touching it. Opponent about to break out the rope for a decision that shouldn't be this complicated. Do they Blood on the Snow? Meathook Massacre. Not a surprising turn, but that does wipe the board completely. That is painful. We are now down to 6 health, opponent at 27. And we are continuing to draw dead in the mana front. Return Upon the Tide, bringing back the War Master once again. Big field pump here. They're going to have to put down the Mascot Exhibition to want to survive this next turn. They're going to elect to use that blood token and the Sanguine Brushstroke to take another ping at her health. Let's see if they try and swing in with the Faceless Haven. Nope, they're going to Mascot. And this is beautiful, folks. This will give us one more chance here. Be able to chump block, remove that eye twitch, and stay alive for a big swing. If the opponent wipes the board, though, that could be game. Darn Bloodcaster. Do they have the targeted removal? No, they are electing to pass. Another War Master coming down. Gonna take the scry, see if... Well, that's a good thing. We avoided another land drop, something we don't need at this time. Once again, holding up. Plenty of chump blockers. But do they wipe the board and finish this game? We are one board wipe away from a very sad finish here. There's the Meathook, and we're going to go ahead and hit him with the GG.